Vibram Fivefinger Spyridon LS. It's a minimalist training shoe. It's got a neoprene upper, a hard-wearing rubber sole with a highly textured tread for off-road trail running. I've been running in these for around 2.5–3 months now, and I find them easily the best shoes that I've ever had for running. The way that the laces work is that they're connected here and actually run around the back of the shoe, so that when you pull them tight, which is obviously a good thing with trail running shoes as well, because there's a lot of grit and sand and dust and small stones. If you can tighten it up, this really pulls in the back of the shoe and makes such a big difference to keeping the shoe on your foot and keeping the whole thing very sturdy. There's a locking mechanism. He says, maybe we can do this. Yeah, so you can pull it tight. As you can see, it pulls it tight around here, and then the locking mechanism holds it in place. And then there is a Velcro section on the front of the shoe where you can connect the laces directly to the front of the shoe so that there's no movement when you're running. It's great because they stay exactly where you put them. I've been running for hours in these shoes and never found actually that the laces came undone, so it's a really wonderful mechanism, and I expect to see it repeated on many shoes to come. On the sole of the shoe there's also a rock plate protecting your foot from any stones or rocky surfaces that you might be running on that could protrude up through the sole, and obviously this area of your foot would be very tender, and this actually stops a lot more than I first imagined when I first saw this. Because it doesn't look very substantial, but actually the difference is huge. I found that my feet stay cooler when wearing the Vibram Fivefingers. I think it's mainly because of the neoprene upper and the fact that my toes are separated, and there's just a lot more airflow that happens around the foot. The heat that comes up from the road, because you're so close to it, because the base is so thin, you can really tell, but also because of the neoprene upper, it actually feels as if you're not wearing shoes. It in fact releases a lot of the heat. The tread on the bottom of the shoe I have found to be pretty good. I've had these for around 3 months, as I mentioned, and although on a few patches where my feet first touch the ground when I land, they have actually taken the tread right down to the surface of the bottom of the shoe, but the rest of the shoe has remained pretty well treaded. I actually started wearing these as shoes very quickly after starting to do running in them, because I noticed that my feet needed to strengthen up and become acclimatized to not wearing to this style of no rise at the back. And I wanted to give my feet the opportunity to strengthen up really well, and yeah, so I've done that by wearing them constantly instead of my other shoes, because I also found that as my feet spread slightly from wearing the Fivefingers, which is a good thing because obviously it helps with your balance and so on, that my toes have now moved apart and become a lot stronger. But now if I go and wear normal shoes, I have found that I get blisters on the insides of my little toes as a result of them pushing my feet back together in a poor shape. So you might find that too. The water does enter quite easily through the toe section here or across the front. It also doesn't hang around, which is great, because I mean obviously if you have ended up running through like a stream or a shallow river or something like that, the water will just drain straight out of the shoe. Which is really good because it doesn't keep any of the weight on your feet that you would otherwise have. Yeah, it is great. It doesn't keep your feet dry, but it also doesn't keep them that wet, so that's got to be a good thing. As I mentioned before, it has this wonderful felt section that goes right across the front of the foot, which I really think is for helping give structure to the top of the shoe, so that both your foot and the actual shoe itself stay together when you are on uneven surfaces, when you're running sideways along the edge of a hill or on rocks and things, if you have to do boulder running or anything like that. They really are a fantastic shoe. One of my other tips for running in these shoes when you first start, if you're not already a barefoot runner, is to really concentrate on the way that your foot is landing. They're a forefoot running shoe, so you should really be landing on the front of your feet. If you start landing on the backs, you're going to really hurt yourself. You really do need to acclimatize your feet to this style of running. If you don't give your feet the time necessary to acclimatize, they will hurt and potentially you could damage your feet. So really just take your time. And other people have said to wear both your normal shoes and these and sort of spread it about a bit, but personally I don't think that that's really the way to do it. I think that lots of small runs and just keep acclimatizing your feet, and if you have damage as a result, you know, maybe you've pulled something, maybe you've pulled your calf muscle or something, or maybe you've just bruised the base of your foot or something like that, you know, give your foot a break and wear a different shoe until that's healed, and then go back and continue. You don't want to build up problems with your feet, so give your feet the opportunity to heal themselves, and then, you know, and then start back up again, because it is one of those things that's worth the perseverance, I think.